All right, what's up? What's up, fam? How you guys doing? Welcome to the DJ Connect. It's Monday. This is probably the greatest DJ group in the internet, or I guess on Facebook, because this is where we actually learn real skills and we learn like what we actually need to do to push the needle further. And instead of like all the stuff that we don't need to be doing, these are the things that we actually need to be doing. And it's January 10th right now. And how many of you guys are actively pushing on your goals, like going after your goals, doing everything you said you would do to attain your goals? Like, let me know in the chat right now if you're actively working on your goals, or let me know in the chat if you're okay with it. Like, this is a safe space. I just kick people out who talk shit or anything like that, so don't worry about that. This is a safe space to talk and like to actually get movement and start moving on our businesses. So it's actually going to be a little bit difficult for me today to check the chat because I have like four different windows going on. But like definitely drop your questions and comments in the chat, and I will always either go back to them or I'll always go back and check out the chat so I can address them pretty much. So I'm just gonna start getting into this. Yeah, so this is the 7 steps necessary to hit any goal. As I said, it's already January 10th, and I forget what the stat is exactly, but they say over like 70% of people who set goals and New Year's resolutions already forgot about them within 2 weeks. So within 2 weeks, that's 4 days away exactly from today. All of those resolutions are gone. Like there's so many people who like said they were going to start eating healthy, and within like the first day, because it was a weekend, I was going to start till Monday. Like I'm just going to start on Monday. Don't worry about it. It is what it is. And that's what happens, because unless these goals are like serious in our hearts and there's a reason that we have to get these goals, ourselves, our brains are going to just walk away from them, because as I'm going to discuss further down the page, you have to suffer. Like you have to be suffering. You have to give stuff up. And our brain doesn't want that. Like our brain is actively trying to keep us out of suffering no matter what. Like it wants to keep us happy, and our brain will do anything that it can in its power to keep us happy. So let's get at it. If anyone has any questions, always drop them in the chat. Drop a hashtag replay if you're checking the replay. Just let me know you're here. Drop your DJ name in the chat. Drop where you're from, and let's go get it. So there is a reason we set goals and we don't achieve them. That reason is because it is not inside of our narrative context. And I know that sounds a little weird, but like a goal needs to be set within a narrative context. So the best way to explain this, a narrative context, is a story. So we have to put ourselves into a story. So like let's just imagine that we're talking about weight loss and you say I want to lose 20 pounds. No one will ever hit that goal, like never ever. But when you put yourself into like a narrative context of why, sorry, I just got a text. It's important. Sorry about that. If so, you put yourself into a narrative context and you say like, I want to lose 20 pounds by March 31st because that is the date of my high school reunion, and I want to look and feel like my best self because all my old friends are going to be there and they're all going to see me, and I just want to look amazing. Let's talk about like DJ wise. This is the year that I'm going to start my business and start making 6 figures. That's one goal. Or this is goal number 2. This year, I'm going to start my business. I'm sick of my job and I need to create another source of income for both me and my family to enjoy, so that we never have to stress about money, with the hopes that it becomes so big that I can actually quit my job within 3 years. Which of those goals are we going to hit? Goal 1, this is the year I'm going to start my business and start making 6 figures. Or goal number 2, this year this is the year that I'm going to start my business because I'm sick of my job and I need to create another source of income for both me and my family to enjoy, so that we never have to stress about money again, with the hopes that it becomes so big that I can quit my job within 3 years. So maybe let's talk about money here. Goal number 1, I want to pay off $10,000 in debt. Goal number 2, our family is going to start a side business and use that money to pay off 10K in debt. And if we do that within this year, we all get to go to Disneyland. Wow. Like, which of those two are they going to hit? I want to pay off 10K debt, or I'm going to pay off 10K debt so that I can take my entire family to Disneyland. So, like, in that goal number 2, now your whole entire family is in that goal with you. You've got your kids always asking you, like, every day, hey dad, how much money have we paid off? Are we getting close? Is there anything that we can do? They're asking you if, like, they can help. Is there anything that they can do? Can they pick up a side business? Can they go shovel snow? I don't know if you know what snow is, but it is snowstorming right now where I'm at. They're asking if there's anything they can do to help. You could have like one of those cash thermometers that people do for like donations. You can put that up there so that you see that thermometer every single day you walk by it, and like every time you get to put more money into it and you're coloring it in, you just feel so much better, and it's in your brain all of the time. That is a goal that you are going to hit. You have a plan to do it. There's a reward at the end. Like, the first one is nothing realistically. It's just I want to pay off 10K debt. But the second one, there's a plan how you're going to do it. There's a reward at the end. There's a deadline. It's simple. And like that's step number 1. So let's really dig into this. If you want to set goals and actually hit these goals, this is the process. I'm just going to check the chat real quick. Hard with the crossfader. What do you mean by that, Andy Williams? Just let me know what you mean by that, and I will definitely address that. So step 1, know why your goal matters. Like, why does this goal matter to you? So let's just stick with that $10,000 debt goal. Why does that matter? Like, if I can pay off 10K in debt, I will stop feeling like some bank or some credit card company is always stealing my money with the interest. I can stop feeling like I'm not financially responsible. Like, if you're always in debt, you're not going to feel financially responsible. Maybe you can start thinking about retirement like a year or two early. What is at stake here? Why is that important? Like, what if you win or you lose to like achieving that goal? Like, what if you win the goal? What if you fail the goal? You don't want to make this goal have to have discipline either. You want to make it so it's fun. You want to want this goal. So like with that first example, like you're going to go to Disneyland. If you pay off 10K in debt, you and your whole family is going to go to Disneyland. So now you want this goal. Like, you're going to do the stuff that you have to do. You're going to sacrifice what you have to do because you want it. You don't want to make it so that like, I have to wake up at 6 a.m. every day so that I can do an extra hour of overtime so that I can pay this stupid debt off. You don't want that, because now like that's more work. It's not something fun. It's work at that point. You want to want the goal. Like, do you want to become a full-time DJ? You want to make this fun. Like, that's a dream of yours. Most of us, if you're here, it's a dream of yours to become a full-time DJ and be able to just be a DJ for your whole life, play parties. That's what you want. You want to you want to actively make that real, not difficult, not so it's like hesitant, like you're going to be hesitant against it. Like, what if to become a full-time DJ, you had to go work out in the snow every single day at 5 a.m. and that's the rule that you had to do to become a DJ. I think right here, right now, a lot of us would just say, you know what? That's not for me. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm out. You want to make this is a goal that you want. How can you do it to make it fun? So step 1 is know why your goal matters. Add stakes to the story. Like, a stake for me was like, I can no longer keep driving 4 hours a day to traffic or in traffic, sorry, to get to work. Like, I have no interest in that. A day like today where it's snowing so bad, like I could literally die. There's so many people have died on the highway to get back to my house. Just because it's called Snowbell Alley, where so 100-car pileups happen all of the time. Like, Google it, you'll see it's wild, a wild highway. So what happens if you get it? What happens if you don't? What are the stakes? Like, if you get it, your family's going to have money. You're going to have extra money. You're never going to be worried about money. You're going to have freedom. You get to choose what happens in your life. And what happens if you don't? You're stuck in your dead-end job for the rest of your life. You're always just going to be a number. You're not going to have respect. You're always going to be worrying about money. put stakes on it so that like you have to do this. Step 2 is define your completion date, and all that is basically a deadline. Deadlines will create a sense of urgency. Like if you've ever noticed in the movies, this is always the same thing. Like you never see a movie, like if it's a romance movie, you never see one where this man falls in love with a woman, and then like she just invites him back to meet the family, and they get married, and that's it. It's over. That's the movie. No, you're never gonna see that. That's because that's a boring story. There's always some like massive conflict that happens in it. So like they meet in a coffee shop and they have this crazy chemistry and they're talking the whole time. But out of nowhere, like her phone rings and something happens and she just runs off. And he's like, "Yo, I didn't even get your name. Like, who are you?" And this guy is like fully in love, and now he's heartbroken and he has no clue how to find this girl. So he goes back to his family's house and he's talking about all this with his family, and out of nowhere his big brother says, "I just met the woman of my dreams and we just got engaged." And like this guy is a piece of crap. He's the idiot jerk brother and everyone knows it. And out of nowhere the woman walks in, and who is it? It was the same woman that guy met in the coffee shop. And then this is where it starts getting spicy. There's this date where they said, "We're just gonna elope in Las Vegas this coming weekend." So now the hero has 3 days to make this woman realize that his brother's a jerk and he is the one, with the connection that they had at that coffee shop. So what makes this story interesting? Like there's all this conflict and craziness, but the main piece is that in 3 days, he has 3 days to make her understand. The deadline is what makes it real. So for the debt, like the deadline is September. We need to get to Disneyland by October. So the deadline for the money is September. You have a thermometer set up where it says September 30th, this has to be done. It just massively brings you into this story, and it really connects you with that goal that you want to make happen. So what can you put on your wall right now saying, "I will start my business, and by this time in summer, like it will be done"? Step 2 is to define your completion date, deadline. Deadlines drive a sense of urgency. Deadlines can tell you when you can celebrate or recalibrate. Like I set a ton of goals all the time and I don't necessarily hit them all, but I'm always taking action on them because I know them and I'm always working towards it. Whether I hit the massive goal or not, it doesn't matter because I've taken so much action on these goals. If you don't hit and recalibrate, at least you got a ton of work done, and that's the fact. Sorry, my phone is blowing up like the worst time ever. Sorry, guys. Step 3 is a goal partner. Accountability partners. Like if you want to lose 20 pounds, get a partner. Someone who will do this with you makes it so much easier. Like you're in this group right here. You're full of other DJs trying to do the exact same thing. Like everyone here is trying to create a business, all trying to make money and trying to become a full-time DJ. Are you partnering with them? Are you working with them? Are you reaching your goals? Are they reaching your goals? We both have, like, say your goal is to make $30,000 by this summertime, which is a very easy goal. You need 15 weddings essentially to make $30,000. You both have that goal of like bringing in an extra $30,000 by summertime. It's not a hard goal, but if you have someone keeping you accountable, it's so much easier. So step 3 is like super simple. It's just get an accountability partner, whether it's me, whether it's someone in the group, someone to keep you accountable, to keep you on your goals. Include people who will actually get the goal done alongside you. That is key. Do not like bring someone in who's just going to waste your time. They have to be serious about the goals. And part 2 is just launch the goal with like an informal ceremony. So like pick a date, make it big and say, "Yo, we're doing this, we're making this real." Like a lot of times me and my friends would always have like a weight loss competition because I used to be very fat. Like I don't know if you guys know this, I used to be extremely fat. And I turned that all around. Like it was very difficult. I did it with keto. But now I'm slowly starting to regain the weight. Like now that's the difficult part. It's always keeping it in track, but it was a goal that we had and it had it going on. Just going to check the chat. When scratching, move the crossfader. Okay, well, I'm not really talking about scratching today, but definitely reach out to me with your questions and I will, of course, help you. But you shouldn't be using the crossfader at all right now. Like, only worry about hand control. Once you've beat the baby scratch and if you move past that, don't worry. Like, then you got to start worrying about the crossfader. But it's not really on topic right now. So feel free to DM me and we'll help you there. Step 4 is just define clear milestones. Keeping with the debt example, like, what is a milestone? The first month, like, you paid $1,000 off, mark it in your calendar. And the key here is to celebrate. Like, you just paid off $5,000, celebrate yourself, like, pat on your back. Then you finally hit that $10,000 paid off. You get to go to Disney World with your family, have a party, like all your friends over, have a debt paid off party. It's crazy. You want to break these things down into tiny little chunks. You don't ever want to feel like you're climbing Mount Everest. Think about like going bowling or something with your family. Like, this halfway through, you made it to $5,000. Think about just going to do something, going to bowl with the family, bring them, and the whole time that you're there, you're talking about what it's going to be like, how much fun you're going to have when you do make it to Disneyland. This is what makes it real. So step 4 is just define clear milestones. It breaks down that massive goal into tiny little chunks. These can be time bound if you want. Maybe for weight, like you want to just eat dairy free for 10 days in a row when you're losing weight. They could be accomplishment bound. Like, if for DJing, I want to publish my website within 1 week. I want to make my social media the next week. I will make all my posts for social media the next week. And then you celebrate each milestone, especially if you have other people participating with you. Milestones help you get through, and it makes it just so much easier. And then step 5, know what you have to sacrifice. So when we set goals, normally we think we set them and they're just going to happen. Like we said, we're doing this and it's just going to magically happen. Then we start to try and do them and we get slapped in the face, like slapped with how hard this is going to be. Like, if you're overweight, how hard it is to stop eating junk food, or how much your body hurts after you work out, or saving money. Like, what do you have to give up? You got to give up your coffee every single morning. You got to give up Starbucks. You got to wake up earlier to make your lunch. You got to maybe stay at work longer to make some more money, some overtime. You got to take all your spare cash, all the money that you got in your pocket, and you got to put in the debt jar. Like, what are the daily sacrifices that you're going to give up to hit your goals? I'm not going to eat until 12 p.m. every day. Like, I'm going to intermittent fast every single day. I will not eat sugar 4 days a week, or I'll have my cheat meal one day, Fridays, and my good meal, the rest I will eat clean. Like, what are you going to sacrifice? Step 5, we know that anything good in our lives requires sacrifice. We are emotionally prepared. We emotionally prepare ourselves to suffer a bit. There is no story without suffering. Suffering is your friend. Like, suffering gives you more meaning. And understand that, like, a bit of suffering is what gives you accomplishments. More meaning is what helps you transform. Step 6 is just gamify the process. I'll show you right here. I have a worksheet. This is gamifying the process. How am I doing this? This is difficult. It's backwards for me. Repetition record. Like, every time you hit this goal, you're hitting a record. So you're just checking it off, checking it off. If you guys need this sheet, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. But this is how you make your goals real. This is how you make your goals happen. And this is the fact. How many times have you actually made this goal happen? Marking it down here at the bottom, your repetition record. Like, repetition is key. Consistency is everything. When you give yourself a goal and you suffer through and then you achieve it, and you can mark it down every single time you hit that goal, now you're hitting like dopamine rushes. You're getting hits in the brain where you do not want to miss this again. Like, I just hit this 5 days in a row. I can't miss this on the 6th day. I can't do that. That's not who I am. And it changes you. It changes your brain, man. These hits in your brain, it's like eating candy or playing video games. You get addicted to hitting your goals, and then you get addicted to checking off that check mark, like getting hooked on habit forming. Like, that's what you want to get hooked on, is habit forming and goal like crushing. You never want to break your streak. And step 7 is simply just you celebrate your win. Anytime that you hit your goals, you celebrate. You have to have closure for your goal too. So like if this is the massive goal, you want to like shut that down. Like you finally like wrote this book or whatever it is that you want to do. You finally got your website done. Everything is done. You want closure to that. So you have a party saying like, I just finished my website. I no longer have to, like, you always have to work on your website, but once you have it built, it's a lot easier, and like you're not in it every single day working on it. But you just have closure to that. You want to close the story so that you can open a new story and then set new goals. So if you guys don't know where to start, or like you're looking for accountability, make sure you guys shoot me a DM or drop it in the chat right now, and I will gladly help you guys get to where you want to go. I created a 6-figure business in not even 3 years, and you can too. I promise you that. I was stuck for years and years, 15 years in a dead-end job that I hated. I was treated like a garbage, and it was the worst time of my life. And now I'm living my dream completely. 15 years I wasted it until I decided to go get a coach so that he could teach me what he knew. And when you learn from someone who's already been there, walk that path, it makes everything so easy. It makes getting your goals and attaining your goals so simple and so easy. So I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Nothing in here. I'll just drop the link to get the worksheet, and I will see you guys later.